What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another installment of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me as always is little brother Jayce. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good.
Coolin'. Chief, what's going on with you?
Hey everybody.
Good deal. Jay King, what's up with you, man?
Cooling, man. Enjoying it, man. Hope everybody out there is having a good Wednesday, good week, and all that good stuff.
Good deal. Chief, you had an idea for a show topic for us. Enlighten the masses on what that was.
I was saying best movie moments. So that part when you're watching a movie and that part comes on that gives you that chill, like, oh. And I was saying I sent out a text just asking. I was watching best movie moments on best fight moments on YouTube. And that Doc Holliday scene came up in Tombstone where Doc came out the tree line, and my man thought he was talking to Wyatt Earp. He was like, "I didn't think you show." He's like, "I'll be your Huckleberry," and then he stepped out of the shadows, and it was Doc. And I remember, looking like, "Oh, it was about to be on." So I just shot the text, and I was like, "Yo, what were some of your greatest movie moments that gave you that feeling, that excitement while you're watching the movie, like excitement in the movie?" So,
Perfect.
trying to hear what you guys say about that.
So let's keep this fun so we don't all go at once with our list. So we'll share one and then we'll go to the next person and then keep going until we run out of, let's say, up to 10. All right. Jayce, why don't you go first with your first one?
Okay. So I think after the NCAA tournament's been over, I still don't know you don't turn to TNT every Friday night or TBS every Friday night. And I'm like, oh, there's movies on again. But the good thing is the movie that was on is Wonder Woman. And as Chief said a couple weeks ago, when Wonder Woman's on, you actually keep watching it because it's a great movie. And the best moment of that is when they're in, my favorite moment of Wonder Woman is when they're in the trenches and it's getting all heavy and she's like, "No, why don't we help you?" It's like the drama is there, and then she's like, "We can't do anything." And then Wonder Woman comes up, "I'm gonna help." And then she comes out, throws the cape off, gets the shield, and just starts blocking bullets. I'm like, "Go ahead, Wonder Woman." And it's like, that is by far my favorite moment in that movie. So that's my great movie moment.
Number one. Okay. Mine, continuing the superhero theme, is what I was waiting on since 2015 when Josh Whedon decided to tease us with it. But it meant more because it was so long delayed when Cap is standing facing off with Thanos and his entire army. And he's just like, all right, whatever. I got this. And then everybody starts pouring in and it's like, and then I'm nudging Jayce because I know what has to happen next. I've been waiting for this moment. And it's like, now it's finally here. Jayce's side is sore because I've been elbowing him so much through this movie. And then when Cap goes and gives that look, Avengers! Symbols. Like, yes, that was it. So absolutely one of my favorites. And I know that's the recency bias, but that one was just, yes, this is what I've been waiting for, and it delivered, and it was an awesome, epic finale. So that's my first one. Jay King, what you got, sir?
Oh, my first one, man. Little known movie. I don't know if y'all ever heard of it. The Last Dragon. Bruce Leroy has against the villain of the movie, Sho'nuff. Who's the master? Sho'nuff was kicking Leroy's ass from pillar to post. And they talked about the glow throughout the movie. And to have you had to be like the master, right? And Sho'nuff had the glow. He was glowing red and making his faces and doing all that. I was like, oh man, Bruce Leroy's gonna get killed unless he has the glow. And he didn't have the glow until he started dipping his head. Sho'nuff is dipping his head in the water. He's beating him, talking trash to him. And then he goes to his little flashback minute montage. And now he realizes he has the glow and he comes up glowing orange. And I think they was playing the "You Are the Last Dragon," not the Willie Hutch joint. When you have the glow, when you know the glow, not that one. They were playing the "You Are the Last Dragon." He came up out that water. He was like, "Master," and he starts glowing. Crush orange. He was glowing crushed soda orange. He started whooping up on Show Enough. That was mine. That's my first one. Because as a little dude, I was in the theater geeked. I was like, yeah, Bruce Leroy. Hey, Carol, I learned Kung Fu. So that was my first one.
Chief, what you got next?
I guess if we're gonna go way back, because I'm dragging the Last Dragon. Yeah, that was a great scene. I do watch that sometimes. You know, I probably talked about this before, but it was a great movie moment. Damn, Rodimus Prime. When you grabbed that Matrix, the leadership of Matrix, and that joint popped open and you heard Rodimus's voice, arise, Rodimus Prime. You got the time. You got the power. Then he just grew. Man, I remember being that joint like, oh, picked my man up and threw him through the wall of Unicron. Man, it was a beautiful scene, man. That song, sometimes whenever I hear that song, that's the movie I don't even, that's the movie I go right to, man. Not even Boogie Nights. I go straight to the Transformers, man. So that joint right there, man, I'm telling you, powerful scene, one of the greatest scenes ever, man. Cartoon, movie, whatever. That leader of Matrix scene with Rodimus Prime.
Jayce, I'm going to cut the line because I'm going to continue with the love for Transformers the movie. But my scene does not involve that punk hot rod. It is when Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost. And that Joker transforms and he's like, I'm wiping out all these Decepticons. And Optimus Prime is just going to rampage. And he goes, one shall stand, one shall fall. And Megatron's like, why throw away your life so recklessly? I can run through the whole dialogue, but I won't. That was an amazing fight. Those commercials were like, will Optimus Prime die? And I'm like, he better not. But I was so hyped from the commercials and then actually seeing that in the movies. I was so geeked out. Every time I watched that, I'm still geeked out. And then I'm like, all right, Prime's dead. I guess I can keep watching the rest. But man, that first part up until Unicron transforms Megatron and Galvatron, like some of the best in movie cinema, period, for me. Go ahead, Javon.
Can we have an honorable mention for Galvatron turning Starscream into dust?
Absolutely.
Oh gosh, yes.
That movie is just
fantastic.
full of memorable moments. When Spike goes, oh, he didn't even did it. It's like, oh my gosh, just Transformers, they're going hard. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. And we were like, wait, they cussing Transformers. Oh,
Shh. Maybe the adults didn't notice. Maybe they didn't hear it. So yeah, that was another movie moment. All right, Jayce, I cut the line. Go for it.
well, that's an appropriate cut. I'm actually going to take it a little different. Another one of my favorite movie moments is from The Godfather Part One,
Nice.
where everything Kay's like, hey, I just want to know, did you do this? Okay, you're allowed to ask me about my business one time. No, I didn't. Oh, okay. And then she walks out like, oh, everything's hunky-dory. And then she just sees the line of the rest of the family give Michael his due. They're like, Godfather. And Kay's like, you just lied to me right to my face, and I'm just going to have to eat this one. Because, the door just closing. It's like, what was the guy's, Neri closes the door like, we're done here. It's like, no one else is lying. It was just like, whoa. It's like, that was like one of those super cool scenes. It's like, oh wow, this dude he's in. There's no more Michael Corleone, the war hero. This is the dude who's now running the Corleone family, and he's ruthless. And it was just like, oh wow, what a change. So that was a great moment.
All right, you stole mine, but that was definitely on my list. But I'm going to go to the next one, part 2, where everything's done and Michael's having that flashback of his family and half of them are dead now and killed off. And then it cuts to him on the lawn where he's just like, what the heck have I done? what kind of person am I now? And the leaves are just fluttering, and they do that long close in on Michael, and he's just like, yeah, I've done all this, and I do it again because I'm the Godfather. I love that. That's like one of my favorite endings because it's music and everything. It's just like, because we're asked to envision what Michael's thinking at that moment, where most movies will spell it out for us. This one's just like, dude, what's going through his head right now? So yeah. All right, Jay King, what you got next?
Oh man, July 3rd weekend, 1991, Terminator 2 of Rivertown. Movie bleak for Sarah and John, and T-1000's got him in his crosshairs, and he's sharpening up the blades. He's like, I got you now. You man, nothing you can do. You see T-100 pull whatever it was, that steel beam out of his chest, one arm, one or whatever, and crawling his way to save his people. And it's a machine. He has no emotion, but that was an emotional scene. Comes up that gear, got that thing. Wow. See my man's head hanging. And the rest of his body standing there, and he goes into that melted steel. Man, that was a hell of a scene, hell of a movie.
Chief, what you got next? What's next for us?
Superman 1. Lois has just been crushed in the car, right? And my man let out that yell that could be heard over Earth, and then it flew up and just started and I remember the feeling I got watching this dude reverse the spin of the Earth and started flowing the other way, man. And it was just, I mean, what was that, 80, 81, 82?
I think it's
78.
Yeah, dude.
78?
It's even
So I remember watching that, man, and I mean, I was just so amazed, man, just watching him fly around the Earth in 20 times a second, just, and then after he completed this thing, went back around and flew back. It was just a great scene, man. It was one of those scenes, man, that when I left the joint, that's the scene I remember the most. My man flying around the Earth. Great, one of those joints that gave you chills. Like, oh man, you didn't realize to that point just how powerful this dude was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've seen him do some stuff, but because in your mind, when he flew after them rockets, he didn't, he wasn't flying that fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, extra motivation got him there.
Right. I guess you gotta fly a certain speed within the Earth's atmosphere. Can't, you can burn up the people or whatever. But then I just, so that scene right there, man, was a fantastic scene, man.
Cool. Jayce, what you got, bro? Shot?
Okay, I'm staying in that same franchise with the same actor. My favorite scene, one of my most memorable scenes in movie history, I think was Superman after he gets his power in Superman 2, after losing it, going back to the diner and literally
Petty Clark. Petty Clark is the best.
I got everything else in the world I can do anything, but I'm petty. Like, you embarrass the hell out of me. I'm gonna come up there and just embarrass you in your little small town of nowhere, Alaska, and literally just put you on the table and throw you into the video game and give some money, just like, oh, I've been working out. And it was just like, after saving the planet, the evil Kryptonians are done. He's still got to be like, nah, I'm not letting this one slide because I am that petty. I love that. It's probably way too much of me, but yes, that is one of my favorite moments.
No, that's one of the best. And then they follow that up in Man of Steel, where he just totally trashes the dude's tractor truck and just jams it up in the light post. Like, yeah, Clark. Here's your tip. Oh man, that was good stuff. All right, so my next one is Dark Knight, from the point where Batman has Joker hanging because he's falling off and he's got him and he's explaining to him, I care about you. I cared about Harvey Dent because I knew what that would do to you. And then we go to the rooftop scene, which is one of my favorite movie moments ever, where Harvey is just lied to him, Jordan. Or lied to him, Jim. Lie to her, Jim. Tell her it's going to be okay. Lie like I did. And it's like, oh, man, you can feel that tension, that hurt. And he's like, you think I want to escape this? Nah. So that was epic. The whole build up from Joker's conversation where he's like, gotcha, to Harvey falling off and then unfortunately dying.
And the soundtrack really helps that too. That sound
absolutely.
is perfect during that point.
Yeah. It's like, it's that. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay. It's real. Jay King, what you got next, homie?
Man, next up, what's love got to do with it? Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne, fantastic movie. I think y'all probably know what I'm getting at here.
When they were singing,
animate, huh?
No,
after we watched and head split open by for the half the movie or more than half the movie, him being the world class bastard that he was. When she finally stood up for herself and kicked him in his boys and said, "That's all you got," and proceeded to whoop on his ass in that limousine. Now, I'm going to tell you, it was sad to watch her beating, getting out of that limo and them making that walk through that hotel lobby. But it was well worth it because he got it as much as he gave it. And add to that scene, that whole scene, right, how that played out. In that scene when she escapes, she runs out of that hotel and runs across the highway with nothing but the marks on her face, and goes into that hotel across the way and says, "Look, I'm Tina Turner. I don't have a dime to give you, but I need a room for the night." And the generosity of the man giving her a place to stay for that night. That was a pretty powerful scene. That whole scene was very powerful.
Absolutely. Chief, what's next?
All right, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Forrest Gump, man. When Jenny left him that last time, and my man was standing in the doorway looking at the bed, and I think anybody who's been in love with a woman before, and that joint has ended. I mean, most of us aren't gonna go somewhere and cry. But that feeling, I remember, man, and he just started running. That was right before the running scene. And it's funny because when my father died, I started running. Like, what to do with that emotion. So I found myself running 4 miles a day. You know what I mean? Like, and so, I would think back to Forrest Gump and I'd be like, yo, that scene, man, if I felt it then, but I truly, truly understood it in a sense, you know what I mean, 12 years later. So, it was just one of those scenes, level. Man. Huh?
You felt it on that deeper level.
Yeah. So, that is definitely a powerful scene for me, man, right there, just that, his face, his emotions, dealing with that loss after, so when I think of Forrest Gump, like that scene always gets in mind when he's just standing there looking at the bed, like, damn, So that's one of my memories.
Cool, Jayce.
Okay, my next one is going to be from Revenge of the Sith, and when after Anakin and Obi-Wan are having their conversations, like, "I brought freedom and justice to my new empire," and it's like the speech, "Your new empire." It's just like, "Don't make me kill you." It's like, nope, only a Sith deals in absolute. And then we are about to be treated to one of the two best lightsaber scenes in all of Star Wars. Will not be topped because some people just hit one hit and I'm so tired. But for the next 10 minutes, we are treated to the best bit of lightsaber duels in all of Star Wars. And it's like, that was a build-up totally 20 to 30 years in the making that was so worth it. And to get that scene, I mean, like, that into that movie is just like freaking perfect. And now everybody's like, those movies weren't so bad. It's like, did you watch the daggone movies? But anybody's like, if you can't say that was great, and if you're a Star Wars fan and doesn't say that was great, I look at you very questionably. But that is one of my favorite movie moments.
Okay, I'm going to lightly piggyback on you and just go to the end where the fight's over. And he's already got the high ground, and Anakin is burning away. And he's like, I hate you. And Obi-Wan goes, you are my brother. And that hits so harder after you watch the Clone Wars and seeing how well they had worked together and how closely and how their fates intentionally used there, were so closely linked throughout this whole deal. And for it to just end with Anakin ablaze and Obi-Wan so sad, and it's just like, McGregor nailed that perfectly. Like, you can hear the pain in his voice. And then he goes and picks up the lightsaber, not knowing what's going to happen with this lightsaber, but just like, okay, I'm going to keep this memento of my best friend, my little brother, as I walk off to figure out what the heck's going to happen with the rest of the Jedi. So that was great. Real Fast and Furious 6, the tag team face off with Vin Diesel and The Rock against Owen Shaw and his big gargantuan, where it's like it is a tag team match and they're doing Legion of Doom finishers to knock out dudes. Great. J. King, what you got, homie?
I was gonna say, keeping the Star Wars fan, man. The end of Rogue One, in that little pod or compartment or whatever it is, and you see that red lightsaber go up, and you first, and you see the lightsaber strike, and then I was scared. I was like, oh god, because you knew that was gonna die. It was cool. That's why, to me, Rogue One is one of the best movies of the Star Wars franchise, right? Because it was a perfect prequel, and it captured it made Darth Vader so much more of a badass to me, because Vader's to be feared, but you really understood why, because when that saber strikes in that dark corner of that pod, you're like, oh god, everybody's dead.
Yeah, and they were.
Yeah, make no mistake, everybody was gonna die. So that just did it for me, man. That's right there. That's it.
All right, let's see. Let's do one more round, Chief. What you got?
One more round. One more movie. Let's go. Something good here. And I just, it's gonna sound weird. Hold up. This is gonna be a movie that none of you ever suspected that, because it's not even on my radar, has even a good movie.
It's Legally Blonde, isn't it?
No, man.
Superman 3.
No.
Superman
no,
Returns.
Superman 4, I hated. Superman 3 was still,
Superman 3
if you want to...
Superman 3 was good.
Anyway.
Don't hate on Superman 3.
I own it. It's back there, trust me.
The last 2 minutes of Speed Racer with Emil Hirsch. And man, when he's they're trying to stop him, and he's driving that car, and he's having that flashback and his mom's giving him that speech. And you see, him starting out in his cars, and she's, he's remembering the joint, and he's, and I remember just like, that feeling that you're like, oh, and it was just an excellent scene. My man was just shoom, getting it, and they were trying to kill him. That scene right there, man, to me, made that movie halfway decent as far as watching it. Because that last 2 minutes of the movie were just, you were like, God, you know what I mean? I mean, it wasn't, I can't say I hated the movie. It was kind of like, it was different. It was, you know what I mean? But, it's not one of those movies that I'm going to reach for Speed Racer. It's Friday night,
I don't know, you made me feel like I should revisit it.
Well,
I did kind of like
2 minutes, man, to me were excellent, man. Have you seen it?
If you watch that on a really good HD TV, that last scene, the colors are going to pop. I mean, that's a reference quality Blu-ray. Because that is just, in that, like you said, that last 2 minutes, when that race is going, it's like, oh, wow. I mean, that's like excellent part.
Cool. All right, bro, Shot, what you got?
Okay. I don't know. I only had to turn around for 2 seconds to see My last movie I would go with, and that is right here, Red Hood.
Okay.
And that last scene with Joker, Red Hood, and Bruce and Batman, where he's like basically giving them the blue. I mean, Red Hood's giving them blues. Like, I thought I was the one thing that would actually make you get rid of this wretched SOB. Like, I was like, he'd gone so far, but you let him kill me, and then you just let him go. And it was just like the emotion and pain of that. It's like, yeah, that Bruce. I mean, like, I don't want to be like him, but it's like, dude, I felt Red Hood on that one. So that's one of my last. That is my last great movie that I do in this one.
All right. I've got lots of options. Between Matrix, Hangover, Coming to America. I'm going to go with the quick one in GoldenEye, where James has Agent 006. He's like, for London James, no Alex. For me, let him go. Love that part. That was a great movie. My favorite Bond movie, period. And yeah, that was a great moment for it. All right, Jay King, wrap us up, homie.
Oh man, I'm gonna try to put 3 in very fast. Number 1, Bring Me Thanos. Was if you were in the theater and you saw that thunder, that roar was incredible from the crowd. That if you theatered for that, man, that roar was incredible. That Dark Knight, when Batman makes his reappearance after that long hiatus, and you see they're in that tunnel and it goes dark, and the cop sells that scene, that whole scene. He says, "Son, you are in for a treat tonight." I was like, "Yeah, that sold it." And last Iron Man, when he first put on that suit and went over and exactly, dude, when they started blowing up stuff over in the Ukraine, and you see people crying and babies, destroying hospitals. I wish to God I had Tony Stark's movie magic so I can put on the Iron Man suit and go bring them Putin and the town center so they can do what they need to do. Because that's what it reminds me of. This person is bringing this atrocity to these people. I can't sit back. I have the capability to do something, and he did it. And it was a big scene. That was a great scene to me. So that's 3 in what? 1 minute?
That was good. That was good time. Well, fellas, it's that magical time of the week. Jayce, let's start it off. Who's your nominee for Dummy of the Week?
Oh, I'm gonna start. My Dummy of the Week is actually Baker Mayfield, for saying he felt disrespected after his pathetic performance last year that the Cleveland Browns decided to upgrade him to a far better quarterback who could actually hit wide open wide receivers. For him to actually think, oh my gosh, they're not giving me this magical contract after I sucked it up. I thought I'm better than Matt Stafford. What happened? Yeah, so for him thinking he was disrespected for his horrible play, yeah, he's my Dummy of the Week.
Can't argue with that. My
choice.
choice.
Jayce?
Huh?
Trade him. That should let him know where he truly stands. They can't even find a willing trade partner. I'm going to give you a 6th round pick for Baker Mayfield.
And he doesn't have a bum shoulder.
No. I mean, it's like, hey, can we offer you a bag of sandwiches plus Baker Mayfield for a 6th round pick? No, I'm good.
Sandwiches.
Subway.
Eat fresh. So my nominee is the Academy Awards for its 10-year ban on one Will Smith, because they've got other people who are way worse on this list who are still chilling as acclaimed active members of the Academy. And I guess Harvey Weinstein didn't do anything on stage, so his actions are okay. Roman Polanski, let's not bring him to the States because of his minor problems. Yeah, but they're still fine to be in the Academy. But Will, we're going to put you on there, and you're on the you can't be part of the Oscars for 10 years. And I'm thinking that almost is like a benefit. He didn't have to watch the Oscars for a decade. Awesome. So the Academy is my nominee. Chief, how about you?
I'm going to have to go with Cuba Gooding Jr., man. This fool. Now, he done pled guilty. I don't even understand, man. I mean, who the hell goes into any establishment and just starts rubbing and feeling on females? I mean, it. I guess being poor and normal, I just never felt. I've never felt the need to go and just, you know what I mean? To sexually assault a woman. I don't understand. I don't think I'll ever understand in my mind getting up to a place in my mind where I think I'm that great that I can do anything that I want whenever I want. Hence these Hollywood types.
Does this mean he has to give up his Oscar?
Huh?
Does this mean he has to give up his Oscar too?
No, he gets to stay, and he's invited back next year.
Oh, okay, cool.
But but yeah, it's just so he's gonna go. He's gonna. I mean, probably nothing's gonna happen. Pay a few fines, throw some women some money or whatever. But just that type of behavior, man. That type of thing that you think you can get away with that is mind blowing. So he's my dummy of the week, man. Like, yo, you're a dumbass.
Jay King, who you got?
Well, I got two. One, Ben Affleck. A carnival ride sucks. If it was great, look it. Trying to not say the wrong thing.
I was gonna say, I know this is not gonna go well.
This is going off the rails, Jason.
No way.
You rode this ride before, man. It don't get better. It's not like they added, now it got 5 loops on it. No, this ride is older. Stop, Javon. Just stop talking. Ben Affleck.
Who's your second one?
It's not like it goes in a hyperdrive now. It's the Grizzly. It's the Grizzly. 20 years ago, it's the Grizzly.
Grizzly at King's Dominion.
Shut up. Stop.
What would you?
If Live Movie Files ever makes it to syndication, we're all fired from our jobs.
I can announce what he just said in case it need to be said.
The statements of one Jay King do not reflect those of the rest of Live Movie Files podcast. Fellas, thank you so much for rolling with me as always. Thank y'all out there for watching and listening. This episode of Live Movie Files has been filed.